Some of the most iconic heroes in the game are getting massive reworks that are going to completely change the meta. These updates are already live or being tested on the Chinese server right now, and they are bringing some insane new mechanics to the Gorge that you are not going to want to miss. Hey everyone! The future of Honor of Kings is looking absolutely wild because we have 10 massive hero reworks heading our way soon. These changes are currently available on the Chinese server and some are still in the testing stages, but they will eventually arrive on the global server very soon. In today's video, I will show you the upcoming 10 reworks, including a lore-accurate Wukong update where he actually flies on a somersault cloud, and a huge buff for Arke that lets her land critical hits from any direction without needing to backstab. We are also going to look at major mechanical shifts for Lixin, Sima Yi, and many more. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we jump into the first hero, if you are looking to save some serious money on tokens for all the upcoming skins, you need to check out my new official partner, Buffbuff. They have the absolute cheapest prices on the market right now, letting you save up to 17% on every single token purchase, which is an incredible deal. The whole process is super simple and only takes about 10 seconds of your time. It is just 2 easy steps. Enter your player ID and email, then choose your payment method and you are done. It is 100% official, completely safe, and the delivery is instant, so your tokens will be waiting for you the second you open the game. To get yours, just scan the QR code on the screen right now, or click the link in the description and pinned comment below. Number 1 on our list is the Shadow Stalker Arke. If you've played her, you know she has always been incredibly punishing because of her strict positioning requirements. Well, this rework completely changes how she plays in team fights. The absolute biggest change here is to her passive. In the current version, she only crits if she hits you from behind, and has a 0% chance from the front. They completely removed this absolute rule. Now, she naturally gains 30 to 60% critical rate just by leveling up, which means she can finally land critical strikes right to your face. Plus, her skills can explicitly critically strike now. Any extra critical rate you build over 100% will still convert into bonus critical damage. This is a massive quality of life change that makes her way less clunky in messy situations. Moving on to her first skill, it got a really nice utility buff. They shifted the damage a bit by increasing the base damage, but lowering the physical scaling. The big deal here is that hitting enemies with this double strike now applies a 25% slow for 2 seconds. To balance out this new crowd control, they also slightly reduced the base cooldown so you can use it more often to stick to your targets. Because they moved the slow effect to her first skill, her second skill dash had to be rebalanced. The initial damage is slightly lower now, but it received a huge area of effect buff. When you dash in, you now mark all enemies hit at your destination, instead of just a single target. The mark duration is much shorter now, dropping from 10 seconds down to 3, and the damage reduction you get from marked enemies went down a bit to 25%. But since you can mark multiple people, you can still easily reduce the cooldown of this skill by attacking any of them. Finally, let's talk about her ultimate. They adjusted it to give her a shorter but more consistent burst window. The stealth duration is down to 3 seconds, and the movement speed and healing mechanics were changed to flat numbers, and max health scaling instead of physical attack. The bonus physical attack she gets when breaking stealth was also lowered a bit. But don't worry, her core identity of resetting all her skill cooldowns on a kill or assist is still completely intact. Overall, this rework makes her much more reliable. You don't have to stress constantly about finding the perfect backstab angle anymore, making her a much more consistent and dangerous assassin in the current meta. Number 2 on our list is Lixin. This rework is massive because it finally fixes the problem of only being able to play one form effectively. The devs added a brand new energy bar system capped at 100 points, which is specifically designed to make you switch between his forms constantly. Whenever you transform, you instantly get full energy for that form. This energy drains by 10 points every second. But if you switch forms while you still have some left, it actually converts into energy for the opposite form. While you have this energy, your passive effects are boosted by up to 100%. So the game is really rewarding you for being a hybrid fighter now, instead of just staying in one form all game. In his initial form, Lixin is getting some nice baseline buffs to survive the early game. His first skill dash has a shorter cooldown, and his second skill deals way more damage. This is going to give him much better poke and wave clear before he even hits level 4. Now let's talk about the Revenge form, or the Dark form. It's getting a huge quality of life update with a new running slash mechanic. Now when you charge your first skill, Lixin will automatically execute basic attacks on nearby enemies while he moves. This means you can keep dealing damage without standing still. But the biggest change is to his ultimate. You can finally move while casting it. They also buffed the damage and reduced the cooldown significantly. Plus, transforming into this form is now faster, taking only 2 seconds, and it actually deals area damage to nearby enemies when the transformation finishes. The domination form, or the light form, is also getting a massive damage overhaul. His first skill and ultimate are getting huge damage and scaling buffs. But here is the most important part. His skills now have attack speed synergy. The speed of your sword waves on your second skill and the charging speed of your ultimate will now get faster the more attack speed you build. This is a game changer because it means the attack speed items you buy for your dark form will actually benefit your light form too. Just like the other form, switching into domination now only takes 2 seconds and deals physical damage to anyone standing too close. Overall, this rework bridges the gap between his two playstyles perfectly. You can finally build a hybrid set and be a threat in both forms, making Lixin much more versatile in the current meta. Number 3 on our list is the OG hero, Paladin Arthur. This rework might look simple, but it's a huge upgrade to his mobility and survivability. His first skill now gets a big control update. Instead of needing a target to leap, you can manually aim it in any direction. Even better, if no enemies are nearby, he'll dash forward, giving him a reliable way to jump walls, escape, or chase targets. Some might compare this to Kaiser's dash, but Arthur's is actually better. Kaiser can still get pulled toward enemies, which can mess up escapes, while Arthur has full control with no risk of mistargeting. This change basically removes one of his biggest weaknesses, being easily kited, and makes him much more flexible throughout the game. Number 4 on our list is the Monkey King himself, Sun Wukong. This rework is actually lore accurate and adds some really cool utility without changing his iconic burst damage. First, there's a new mechanic called the somersault cloud. It upgrades his recall, tap it again while recalling, and Wukong hops on his cloud to fly back to base much faster. It looks amazing and saves time, but it's not invincible. Any damage will cancel it like a normal recall. The biggest change is his second skill. It now adds a body double mechanic. Whenever you dash into a target, Wukong summons a clone that hits once and disappears. You can have up to 3 clones active at once. They can't crit or lifesteal, but they deal heavy AoE damage. The good news is his passive, first skill, and ultimate stays the same, so you still keep that one-shot potential, but now with way faster clearing and stronger map pressure. This rework really makes him feel like a true trickster. Coming in at number 5 is the Raveness Miyue. While her passive, first skill, and ultimate are staying mostly the same with just a few minor adjustments, her second skill is getting a massive upgrade that completely changes how she works in team fights. Right now, Miyue's tether only links to one single target, which makes her a beast at 1v1 duels, but honestly kinda weak when the big team fights start. This rework fixes that problem completely. Now, when you hit your first target with the tether, it will automatically chain to nearby enemies, linking up to 4 extra targets at max level. They also increase the base damage and the healing you get from every link. Although keep in mind, the healing is now halved against minions and monsters. The slow effect is also much stronger now and actually scales up over time, making it harder for enemies to escape. To balance out this multi-target drain, the devs did have to cut back on something, so they significantly reduced the passive damage on her enhanced basic attacks. This is a pretty big trade-off, but in my opinion, it's totally worth it. This shift basically turns Miyue from a pure single-target split pusher into a terrifying teamfight monster. If you've always wanted to be more useful in late-game fights, this rework is exactly what you've been waiting for. Number 6 on our list is the Arcane Heart Flowborn Mage. This rework is all about making their gameplay feel much smoother while giving them way better wave clear and poking power. First, let's look at their passive. The enhanced basic attack got a huge upgrade. Instead of just a single hit, it now bounces and spreads to nearby enemies up to 3 times. This is going to make clearing lanes at level 1 incredibly fast, so you can rotate to help your team much earlier in the game. Their second skill is where things get really interesting. You can finally cast this skill while moving. This is a massive change for their kiting and survival. You throw a magic orb that passes through minions and explodes when it hits a hero or a monster. It deals instant burst damage and a slow, followed by some nice damage over time. If you cast the orb twice within 2 seconds, the range actually increases and the slow turns into a full stun. This gives them some much-needed reliable crowd control to set up kills. Finally, the ultimate has been buffed to be way more consistent in team fights. The giant beam is no longer blocked by the first hero it hits, which is huge. You can now actually melt the backline even if their tank is standing in the front. It now deals a burst of magic damage and a slow right when it forms, followed by massive continuous damage to everyone caught in the area. Overall, these changes make the Flowborn Mage a lot more versatile. With better wave clear, mobile casting, and an unblockable ultimate, they are definitely going to be a much bigger threat in the mid lane right now. Number 7 on our list is Peacekeeper Mozi. He is getting some adjustments that make him much more reliable as both a poke mage and a support. First, his passive base damage is slightly buffed, but the real change is his passive shield. It now scales with 4.5% of your bonus health instead of ability power. This is a massive shift. It makes building Mozi slightly tanky much more rewarding than before. They also tweaked the cooldowns and base damage on his first and second skills to smooth things out. But let's be real, the biggest change is his ultimate. It now has a new mechanism that blocks exactly one control effect during its entire duration. Now, this new CC block guarantees that you actually get your stun off without being interrupted. This is a massive buff to his engage potential, and it will definitely make him a top-tier pick for both mid and roam right now. Number 8 on our list is the Shadow Reaper, Sima Yi. His energy system has been completely removed and replaced with standard mana. His passive now generates shadow power when enemies use skills near him. In Scythe stance, enhanced basic attacks consume this resource to deal bonus true damage. It also increases his attack range, making it easier to chase targets. His first skill now lasts longer, giving more time to reposition. It no longer deals bonus damage to minions and monsters, so wave clear is slightly weaker. However, the slow after teleporting is much stronger, making it harder for enemies to escape. His second skill improves survivability. The zone now boosts his healing instead of restoring energy. He can now heal from both magic and physical damage, though physical damage heals less. His ultimate keeps the same damage but is more forgiving. The cooldown is shorter, and if he is interrupted while charging, 90% of the cooldown is refunded. Overall, this makes Sima Yi a more reliable and durable assassin, with better sustain and consistent damage. Number 9 on our list is Liu Bei. While his passive is staying the same, his active skills are getting some major mechanical shifts that change how he handles in a fight. His first skill is getting a complete overhaul. Right now, it just gives you movement speed and makes your next attack fire twice. After the rework, it turns your next shot into one massive explosive blast. Firing this actually has a recoil effect that pushes you back slightly, which is pretty unique for a fighter. This explosive shot also deals heavy damage and adds a new splash effect in a fan shape right behind your target, giving him much better area of effect damage when enemies are grouped up. Moving on to his second skill, the forward dash still knocks back enemies, but the cooldown reduction mechanic is completely different. Currently, hitting a hero reduces the cooldown by a flat 2 seconds. In the rework, your shotgun pellets are what actually reduce the timer. The first pellet to hit a target reduces the dash cooldown by 5%, and every subsequent pellet reduces it by another 1%. This heavily rewards you for fighting at point-blank range, because landing all your pellets will let you reset your dash way faster than before. Finally, his ultimate is getting a significant shift. It still cleanses crowd control and gives you that 3-second immunity and shield, but the cooldown is now shorter. They removed the flat physical attack boost and replaced it with a precision shooting stance. While this is active, your basic attack range is increased and your shotgun fires 2 extra, concentrated pellets for bonus damage. They also simplified how he regenerates his shield. Instead of having different rates for heroes and monsters, you now convert a flat 40% of all damage you deal back into your shield. Even though the maximum shield cap is a bit lower, the healing is much more consistent across all targets. Overall, these changes make Liu Bei a much more tactical hero who excels even more at close quarters combat. And finally, at number 10 we have the lyricist Liu Bei. This rework is really interesting because it shifts some of his power from raw damage into survivability. They reduce the burst damage on his second skill formation slightly. Both the initial damage and the edge damage have lower scaling, so it will not hit as hard as before. In exchange, they added a new evasion mechanic that makes him even more slippery. As long as you stay inside the sword formation after the initial animation, you gain a 10 to 20% chance to dodge basic attacks from enemies inside the circle. And here is the key part. That dodge chance is doubled to 40% against enemies outside the formation. This is huge in team fights. Marksmen and other auto attackers will have a much harder time locking you down. Overall, this makes Liu Bei much more durable in fights. You lose some burst damage, but the added outplay potential from the dodge chance makes him much harder to deal with in the current meta. And that covers the 10 massive hero reworks coming to the global server soon. Seeing classic heroes like Wukong, Arke, and Arthur get these upgrades is exactly what the game needs to keep the meta fresh. Whether you are excited to try Lixin's new hybrid playstyle, or just glad that Sima Yi now uses mana, the Gorge is going to feel very different once these updates arrive. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these reworks are you most excited to try, and which hero do you think will be the most broken? Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.